Good morning, campers. Changing up the format a little bit here. Obviously, normally I send an email. Today I decided to make it a video email. It just seems like sometimes I have so much to say that it's hard to sit there and write out 1,000 words and then expect you to read them all. So I wanted to post a video today in the email to say, number one, great job. I know I say that every single day, but I mean it. You are strong women who inspire me a great deal, probably more than you could ever imagine. And I just wanted to personally say face-to-face thank you, because sometimes we don't get that opportunity in camp. You may hear me shouting and screaming and encouraging, but take this personally, individually, each one of you, because there are certain things about each one of you that make you amazing, and I appreciate so much. I wanted to talk about today's assessment and workout. First, here is the, there it is. There's the beep test. That's what was sitting at home on my counter, and it's supposed to be with us, so that we can keep score. But you can see, obviously, you have each level, so it's a little easier to keep track of. So we'll have that for the end of camp, and I'll transfer your guys' scores over. Jeannie, Heidi, awesome job. Obviously, I know that you guys are runners, and I know that this was a test that you guys would be able to push to the limit, and you obviously did not let me down, so I appreciate that. Everybody else, awesome job. I know when you explain the beep test, you think, yeah, that sounds kind of silly, kind of easy. Why are we doing this? But I think you found out pretty quickly that it takes a lot of aerobic capacity. Lungs, heart, cardiorespiratory system. And that's a good way to judge just kind of where you're at as far as your cardiorespiratory system goes. But that test represents so much more than just the physical running back and forth. I hope you understand that. If you've know me by now, or at least you'll get to know me, I usually overthink things, and I think deeply, and I get wrapped up in all this. But think about the beep test. You look at it, you think, it's going to be easy, and in about a minute, you're like, that's harder than I thought. 2 minutes, you're like, uh-oh, and 3 minutes, you're like, yeah, I think I'm done. But how many things in your life do you look at and you go, oh, I could do that, or I could start that. Oh, hey, start getting in shape? Yeah, no problem. And then you get into it and you're like, uh-oh, what did I just do? This looked a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And then eventually, unfortunately, most things that we take on in our lives, we end up stopping, quitting, and we don't finish, we don't follow through. In that test, it kind of goes through all that gamut of emotions, if you think about it. And eventually you're going to have to stop when you're doing that test, because your lung capacity is only going to last so long. But I want to encourage you that there are so many things in your life, whatever it is that you have going on, each and every one of us have something different going on that we have started. Now obviously, rule number one, always make sure that God has called you to do whatever it is that you start. Sometimes we jump into things blindly because we have ulterior motives, or we just, our motives aren't quite right. We want this, but maybe that's not what we need. And we jump in and we go, and they fall short because it wasn't what we're supposed to be doing anyway. But if God has called you to do something, and you started, and it gets hard, I want to encourage you to make sure that you follow through and you finish it. I think every one of you are in this camp for a reason, and I love that you're here. And the fact that you're here leads me to believe that we are all on a mission together. So I just want to encourage you to stay strong, make sure that you keep working hard. You inspire me, and I guarantee you, whether you know it or not, that you are inspiring people around you, whether it's your kids, whether it's your husband, whether it's your friends. Not everybody can get up at 5:30, but everybody is inspired in some way. And as they sit and watch you go through this journey, they will continue to be. And I am honored to be your trainer. See ya.